know. And so that's why I think we need to be, independent thinkers and just support whatever views support us on whatever the side, right, left, whatever. We have to look out for ourselves. And I've heard some people say we might be better off if there was more of a balance in each party. And I mean, there probably is some truth to that, because now I think we're taken for granted by the Democratic Party. Like, they're going to automatically get all of our vote no matter what they do or don't do for us. So I do think that there is that feeling that, we have to be in that party. You have to buy into everything they say, even if it goes against some of our core values.
Yeah, and that just don't work. That don't work for a lot of Black folks. I agree, man. And so everybody, let me let you guys know who I'm speaking with. First of all, I want to welcome you guys to drboycetv.com. Don't forget, this is the home for intelligent Black people. So if you're not intelligent and open-minded, then you may want to leave, because you're going to get offended because this conversation may be above your pay grade. We are here to talk freely and to express views that strengthen the Black community, and that's what we're all about. That's what we do. I want to give a quick thank you to everybody who joined us out in Los Angeles. We were down in South Central, had a very vibrant conversation down there. Went out and did an investment seminar. That was a lot of fun. I also saw the play Woke Black Folk by Fumilola Fagbemilia. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a great play, so if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Shout out your city and all that, everything else. And so I want you guys to hear what Mr. Broussard has to say. This is Chris Broussard from Fox Sports. He's the founder of the King Movement. He also has a national syndicated radio show. And what's the name of your show that you do with Rob Parker again?
The Odd Couple. The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple. Yeah. That's right. The Odd Couple. And so please check that out. Please support that as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I want you guys to see this. You guys may have seen this. You may not have seen this, but you should see it now. It is a video that Chris did. And I'm going to tell you, man, my boy shot it down. He did a video on how many of you heard about the Rich Paul rule, what's called the Rich Paul rule, which was a new requirement that the NCAA put in place, to basically regulate the types of sports agents that the athletes could have. And Chris was one of the first people to speak up on this issue. And I was really excited when I saw this video. And I'm gonna play this video right quick. And I'd like to get Chris's direct commentary on what the thinking was behind this video. And there's more to discuss, because actually I believe this video, as well as statements from LeBron and many others, actually led to a recent development in this topic. And we'll talk about that in a second. So without further ado, let me shoot this video to you guys real quick. Here we go.
Which is appropriate, but I'm gonna call they're calling it the Rich Paul rule, which is appropriate, but I'm gonna call it something else. Straight up racism. But instead of crying, complaining, and begging, it's time for Black people to take action. You fight power with power. And one of our greatest sources of power is our athletic dominance. So I'm calling on all of our great Black football and basketball players. Instead of going to these big universities that chew you up, spit you out, and don't care about you, go to an HBCU, a Howard, Morehouse, Hampton, Xavier of New Orleans, and many other schools. I know some of them are still NCAA, but at least the millions of dollars you generate would go to benefiting Black people who are in dire need of economic empowerment. Secondly, our professional athletes, instead of giving $2-3 million donations to these big schools that you stayed at for a year or two, give it to an HBCU. Then they could strengthen their academic programs and their athletic programs and facilities.
All right, so let me shut that down right quick. All right, first of all, please give this brother a digital round of applause for what he said. Just give him a thumbs up, give him a thank you. Just say a thank you in the chat, put it to his brother, because he did not have to do this video. And don't forget, he's a brother with a real good job, or several real good jobs. And this, when you make statements like this, it does not come without a backlash. Y'all know how it is. So we get penalized for being too Black. So Chris, I guess I'll start with a general question. What drove you to make that video?
Well, when I saw that they put that rule in place, my first thought was, this is racist. Simple and plain. They see you see how Rich Paul has become arguably the most powerful agent in the NBA. I mean, in addition to having LeBron James, he has Anthony Davis, Ben Simmons, Draymond Green, and several other players. And he's doing a great job. Doesn't have a college degree. And when he got LeBron, and initially he wasn't certified for 3 years by the NBA Players Association. He was certified, but not for 3 years. And that's something I want to bring up. The NCAA, as you know, Boyce, they changed the rule yesterday. And they said, you no longer have to have a bachelor's degree to represent players. And I think that was great. But I also think they should have softened the length of certification needed. Like now you still have to be certified for 3 years. I think that should have been maybe a year or two to give other people a chance, because Rich Paul, let's face it, he was able to get into the agent game because of his friendship with LeBron James. And so the threat is that other people are looking at a Rich Paul and saying, I could do that. Whether it's parents or uncles, if I have a nephew who is a promising athlete, basketball player, and I may be thinking, well, I can represent him like Rich Paul's representing LeBron, rather than having to go to an agent. And a lot of college coaches, the big-time college coaches, have relationships with these agents. So they direct their players to certain agents. And that's where the tie-in comes with the NCAA. So that is one of the threats. And so I'm not saying, look, Rich Paul is very talented, very intelligent, and he worked at Nike. He worked for CAA. Leon Rose was the agent he worked under, and learned the game. So it's not just as simple as I can do it. Finances, it's not that simple. However, he has opened the door and created, a lot of opportunities for people, and people are thinking in their minds, I can do that. They see him doing it and they think they can do it. So I think that the rule that, you had to go get a college degree, you had to have 3 years of certification, I thought that it was racist. And I'm glad the NCAA did make the change. I think they could have went a little further, as I said. But look, the fact is, so many people, successful people in this country, don't have college degrees. College degrees are great. I have one, you have one. However, Steve Jobs doesn't have one, or didn't have one. Bill Gates doesn't have one. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook doesn't have one. So a lot of people who are successful do not have the college degree. And my feeling is that if the NBA certifies the agent, and there's a process you have to go through to get certified, but if the NBA certifies you, then I think you should be able to represent collegiate athletes. And I think the NCAA should have went with those guidelines rather than creating their own.